Good afternoon. How you guys doing? We're on another task to break open this subjects under the title of Black Hebrew YAHSHARALITEs. And some of their doctrines, some of their teachings are very out there, whacked out, very messed up, very screwed up, very fleshly, all flesh, all, natural teaching, things like of the sort. I'm not saying that everything is, but a lot of it is. And one of the ones that I found out is really alarming. There's plenty of them, there's a couple of them, but the one that's saying that Yahusha wasn't born of a virgin birth, if we want to use those words, or supernaturally by the Ruach HaKodesh. They're saying that he literally came to the physical line of David, or dude, in that matter. And I'm saying, wow. Now we're going to have a problem here. I'm not saying that he's the son of, he's not in the lineage of David, prophesying, per se. Of course he is. Of Solomon and etc. He came from the tribe of Yehuda, 7:14 of Hebrews. I'm not saying that he's like some alien. But the fact of the matter is to turn around and say that he had to have a physical lineage, in the physical lineage of David, and that his husband husband Joseph, it had to be physically, that it was not endorsed by the Ruach, per se, according to Scripture, then it's to totally take these Scriptures and this, you might as well just white them out. Now, I have seen people white out Scriptures before on a lot of subjects where they don't fit their paradigms. Well, they're going to say that about me. Yeah, you're doing the same thing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, come on. But the fact of the matter is, if I'm reading the Scriptures for the first time, Matthew chapter 1, and I'm reading these stories under the inspiration of all Scriptures inspired. All Scriptures, remember? All, not some. Not the Old Testament is inspired and the so-called New Testament is not. This is another pitting the covenants against each other. Like the Old Covenant came first, so that makes it inspired. And the New Covenant came second, so it's not inspired because the Old Covenant was first. Oh my gosh. But this is what happens. This is what happens when you get fed and dragged into stuff, and you're afraid, you're fear of people and etc. Because this is what happens. This is a part of the stuff. This is not a fleshly battle, physical fleshly battle. Because that'd be the case. We have to go out there and get some weapons and get me an army and deal with these folks. So that's not what that's going to happen. That does happen, but that's not the way of the Ruach. That's the way of the flesh. Now, I'm saying this to say this, that if Miriam was told she was going to be endowed by the angel, Joseph was told that. The messenger came. There's a whole bunch of people involved with this particular story here in Matthew chapter 1 about the virgin birth. A whole bunch of people. Now, we're going to have a whole problem here with this subject, with these guys, with this, that Yahusha HaMashiach did not come in doubts, or in, as it says. All right, but we're going to read this to make sure we get this right. It says, Matthew chapter 1, we all know this. Everybody knows these verses, not reading something new here. Something that's totally jumped up, come on. And the birth of Yahushua HaMashiach was as follows. Hallelujah Scriptures for today, big print. Somebody said, what are you reading? And the the birth of Yahushua HaMashiach was as follows. After his mother Miriam was engaged to Joseph, before they came together. Before they came together. Before, we know what they came together means. She was found to be pregnant. She was found to be pregnant before they came together. inspired scripture says that Miriam was found to be pregnant before they came together and turned the little lights out there. From the Ruach HaKodesh. Now, wait a minute. It's interesting. This is simple stuff here. And Joseph, her husband, being righteous and not wanting to make a show of her, and in the mind put her away secretly. To put her away secretly. He wanted to put her away. We all know that. Because, you know, like, what's up? I ain't touch you. What you talking about, you what's going on here? Right? And he's bugging out, probably. Because most of us would have put her away anyway. We'd have told the angel, nah, man. The heck with that. We'd have been mad. Steaming mad. But while he thought about this, see, a messenger, of Yahuwah appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Miriam as your wife. Now, wait a minute. This is throwing a messenger in there from Yahuwah. Wait a minute. A messenger of Yahuwah, from Yahuwah. Now we put Yahuwah on the spot to be saying what he said he's going to do to Miriam, to be wrong under these black Hebrew Israelite teaching that David was not espoused, Miriam was not impregnate. So now we're putting Yahuwah on the spot with these guys. Because these guys are saying not only the messenger, now we put Yahuwah in there. Wow. This is interesting, people. But something as simple as this little topic and subject is what you're going to be taught in these black Hebrew Israelite camps. Some of them. Along with the law. I got to keep saying that every time with the law. The law, the Shabbat, the this, the that, the eschatology, the this, the that, the reincarnation, the polygamy, all of this stuff, man. But I just jumped on this one real quick. The virgin birth story. Because that's a little simple. You can get right to that, get it over with, get it in, get it out, and take care of that. But the messenger appeared to him. Appeared to who? To Joseph in a dream. Now wait a minute. Either Joseph dreamed this, or Joseph making up his own stuff. And now he guilty. Everybody in trouble in this story here then. According to the black Hebrew Israelites theory or concept of a physical, natural, through David's seed terminology. So this is really sad here. But anyway, do not be afraid to take Miriam as your wife. For that which is of her was brought forth from the Ruach HaKodesh. Now wait a minute. This is the second time in a couple of verses. First it was saying that she was pregnant. Right? Without him, from the Ruach HaKodesh in verse, what's this? 18. Then we get to verse 20. It brings back and it comes back with was brought forth from the Ruach HaKodesh twice already. Now the black Hebrew Israelite guys are saying that these two valid verses here, we're going to use verses, that they're invalid. And our teaching of what we're going to break it down to you, showing you the new way and not the so-called Christian way, quote unquote, and I'm not a Christian. And we're going to break it down and show you that, and then you're going to go out and teach that when you go out there to the Akis and to the lost sheep, and you go out there and you're going to teach that and tell them that stuff you was taught in Scripture in Genesis, that's wrong. And you're going to pick it up. You're going to grab it. You're going to run with it. Because it's something that you got to do to prove you in. Like a game. You got to accept it. You prove you in. You become a part of it. Like a gang, like initiation back in the 70s. Black Spades, the Mongols, and all these other gangs that was out here. So you have to get beat or beat up a little bit and show your worthiness. So if you accept these doctrines, you will show your worthiness to these camps. Some of these camps, teachings. Not all of them. I don't know every last camp. There's about 55 of them. I don't know every doctrine, every camp. It's like I don't know every doctrine, every tenet of Christianity, denominations and teachings, and it just goes wild. But we do have scriptures, though. We know the doctrines of the scripture by the Ruach HaKodesh. That's all we need to know. That's what we go by. We don't go by doctrines of men, traditions of men. Marcus 7:9. We don't go by that. They go by that. And then they squeeze you and put you in it. And then you get beat down. And before you know it's a wrap. Verse 21. And she shall give birth to a Ben, it says in this translation, and you shall call his name Yahusha, not Hawashah. For he shall save his people from their sins. Verse 22 says, and all came to be in order. And all came to be in order. Prophecy. To fill what was spoken by Yahuwah through the Nebai prophet, saying, see, a maiden shall conceive, and she shall give birth to a Ben, son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, and it's translated meaning all, not E-L, with us, A-L, with us, all with us. And Joseph awakened from his sleep. Verse 24. I better put my glasses on here in this dark behind room. Y'all can see I'm not in the park today. I'm in my bedroom. And Joseph, awakening from his sleep, did as the messenger of Yahuwah commanded him, and took his wife. Now wait a minute. Well, it sounds like, according to the Black Hebrew Israelites, that Joseph was already with his wife. Because it had to be a physical seed. Sperm, I guess. But man, didn't Yahuwah create Adam and Eve without somebody having sexual intercourse? Didn't he make them from the dust? So he couldn't do that with Yahusha in pregnant Miriam, I guess. Wow, interesting. Wait a minute. 1 second. But knew her not until she gave birth to her Ben, the firstborn, and he called his name Yahusha. But knew her not until she gave birth to her son. Okay, knew her not. That means physically she did not know Joseph in no physical, sexual way. Okay, there you go. So that's the good point. That's the good point. Now that's the scripture. Read in Matthew chapter 1, verses 17 to 26. 17 to 21. I mean 17. Chapter 1, 17 to verse 26. Now that's Matthew. Luke is the other genealogy breakdown that these guys prefer, I guess, to use, because they both go in a different lineage line. One Joseph, one Miriam. I don't give a dunk about the genealogy line, lineage, breakdown, Solomon, blah, 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 begat, begat, beget. That's not my problem. My problem is saying that he was born through flesh, and she was not impregnated by the Ruach. That's my problem with the Black Hebrew Israelite teaching. That's my problem. They're going to run that seed, David, flesh thing like they do with a lot of the natural teachings. A lot of this stuff that's just totally has to be talked about. It has to be talked about. Just like they like to talk about everything they used to be taught when you was a Christian, and I'm not a Christian once again. That's why you have to talk about their stuff. You have to examine it. It has to go under the spotlight. It's no different than anybody else. It's no different than mine. When I start talking about eschatology, my stuff is going to go on the spotlight. My stuff is going to go under scrutiny. But I do believe that Miriam was given birth through the virgin terminology, etc. Not through David having sexual thing, through a literal seed, have to be literal contact in the line of do it, and etc. from Solomon down. Now, somebody going to come back and say, oh yeah, but this, what about that, what about this? But then the messenger was wrong who gave the command from Yahuwah. Yahuwah's story in this chapter 1 is not correct. Joseph, the woman saying she didn't have no intercourse, more or less, with this man, but obviously she did, physically, and etc. So all this stuff is all because of the Hebrew Israelites teaching on the virgin birth is not legit. That's wrong. He had to come. I'm not going over their verses. They know their verses. They know these verses as well. They are apologetic, debated against it, etc. But I'm talking to y'all who need to rethink before you start going teaching against the Ruach and against these scriptures saying that you're a black Hebrew Israelite and you're allowed to do this and say this and etc. And you're not going to be answering for this stuff because now you're saying you're a black Hebrew Israelite, etc. You're Aki, you this, that, this, and the other. That kind of stuff to me is very scary. Just because you find out your genealogy is what my subjects are about, that doesn't mean you don't have to answer about your tenets and your belief and your system now because you're under the law and Shabbat and you keeping this and you don't eat this and you eat that and you don't eat this and etc. etc. Now that's for another topic. That's for another topic. I'm going to go off the handle. But Matthew said the woman wasn't, impregnated by the Ruach HaKodesh. So if you're going to take that, you use that. You don't let somebody bamboozle and hoodwink you and get you to, deny the scriptures for some doggone religious group setting. I don't care if it's black Hebrews, I don't care if it's Christianity, I don't care if it's Islam, I don't care what it is. You don't let somebody take these scriptures and then manipulate you in them and then tell you, well, listen, I'm your new teacher. Well, your new teachers always have been the Ruach HaKodesh. But we don't get that in the beginning when you following something new for these people who are following these camps, for some of them. It's like when you became a Christian. You became just lay down and listen. Shut up. You listen to me. I'm your teacher. That's what you get in Christianity. That's what you're going to get in these black Hebrew-like camps as well. It's no different. It's passed down stuff. They learned that from their other avenues. They're going to do it over here in this avenue. That's just the way it goes. And somebody like me is despised because they saying, well, he don't want to be under somebody. I am under Yahusha, 1 Corinthians 3:23. They under Yahusha if they a believer as well. But they under camps and under Christianity and under pastors and church names and all kind of stuff. Them days are far gone, man. Those days are boring. It's whack. It's weak. It's garbage. Man-made flesh, religion. It's just the same old thing, just different names. I got to keep saying that in all these YouTubes again. I'm going to have to keep saying that, people, so get used to it. Genealogy, 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 genealogy. Heritage, heritage, heritage. Has nothing to do with your theology, theology, theology. Because the false Yehudim in Scripture knew their genealogy, knew their heritage, knew where they came from, knew that they were descendants of Abraham and Moses and all this good stuff, and they still was wrong and was exposed by Shaul and Yahusha and anybody else in Scripture that came to tell. Who did the prophets go to when they were telling they was wrong? To the Philistines? Who did the prophets go to when they were stoned and killed? They went to the Yehudim. Like you got to come to the black Hebrew Israelites today. Stand up saying, we represent the truth. You got to go to these people. We take care of the Christians and the Jews and the Judaism and Islam, and that's another story. But who did the prophets go to? Who did Jeremiah and Isaiah and Zephaniah and etc. Hosea? Excuse me. Who did these people go to? To the Yehudim. By prophets to Yasharal. But today, they saying, no, you don't come to us. You sit down and listen and shut up. Christianity has its own ways of doing things as well, similar to, obviously, the black Hebrew Israelites. But who did the prophets go to? Who did the apostles go to? And if we keep reading Matthew, go to Matthew chapter 10, which I'm going to do on the Lord's sheep. The eschatology and all this stuff comes in. My. But what are we going to do? We're going to stand on truth. We're going to stand on Ruach HaKodesh. We're going to denounce the fear of man and woman, for that matter. And we're not going to be afraid. And we're going to ask the Ruach HaKodesh to give us strength and boldness of speech. Not arrogance. Not arrogance. But boldness of speech to tell the truth. Whoever don't like it, or who like it or don't like it. Friend or foe is my motto. We're going to tell the truth. We have to. We bear witness to the truth for the kingdom. Not for ourselves, not for glory upon ourselves, our camp names, our captains and all this preachers and pastors. No. Get them out the way. It's about Yahushua HaMashiach. That's it. It's all as ever will be, And that's it. And his father Yahuwah. And the Ruach HaKodesh. Those three. That's right. That's what it's about. It's not about flesh, man, terminology, religion, names, all of this stuff. No. Those got to go. And we got to stand on the truth. You're going to get persecuted. You're going to get called names. You're going to get called all kind of stuff. And you're going to get it from the friends. That's the main thing. The foes is easy to take it from. It's from when you get hard and get punched in the stomach, or you get cut in the back of the neck by a friend. That's when it hurts. All right. So there you go. I'm going to close this out. 20 minutes, 36 seconds. Not on my phone. So I got to try to learn. I got to go back. I did YouTube so long ago. I got to have to get my daughter here to help me try to upload this thing up to the page. But anyway, the virgin birth was a virgin birth. He had to have been born from above, not from beneath. He had to have been born that way, like Melchizedek in Hebrews chapter 7. Without sin. Humans are born with sin. Yahushua HaMashiach was born without sin. So, no guile, no cursing, no nothing in him. Can't be. Impossible. But who? Us? Us? David killing folks? David setting folks up? My goodness. Solomon not listening. All his concubines and all his wives. The scripture told him as a king not to have that in Deuteronomy 17. And Yahusha physically, he is from the tribe of Yehuda, it says in Hebrews 7:14. But to take his natural birth and then line it up naturally, physically, and then say these scriptures don't count because you physically can't spiritually or don't want to accept, or you trying to reject something from Christianity. This scripture wasn't written in Christianity. Remember, these were Hebrews talking. This is not a Christian terminology that you take in the Christian book as a black Hebrew Israelite when you're reading it talking about Christianity. I thought these were Hebrews. So how are you taking and saying there's a Christianity teaching when they were Hebrews, and the Hebrews, Joseph and Miriam, are Hebrews? So I don't get it. It's confusing. It's trickery. Sleight of hand. But what can you do? You share the truth and you give it out there. And you let whoever hears, hears. Let those that have an ear to hear, let them hear what the Ruach said. And those who want to block it out and stay in your camp, feel and say Shabbat Shalom and go and hibernate and do all your stuff, so be it. Nobody's telling you not to do that. But go in truth. Go in the Ruach. Go in not fear of man. And then if you find out that is wrong through the Ruach, you run and you get out. You don't sit there. You don't stay there for 10 years. Taking up another 10 years of your life for men doctrines. Because don't forget, I got to keep repeating myself here. You left Christianity, most of y'all. And now you have found your brand new truths. Your brand new everything. Everything in brand new truth. Wow. Interesting. But I'm not a Christian once again. I believe in Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay? Christian comes, we all know that. Simple stuff. And anyway, by the way, the Christians were taught they're Christians. So that's how simple that is. They don't even know. But anyway, that's it on this subject. That's it. I'm going to close that out. And we'll be back. We come back with some more. But that one that's a quick one on the virgin birth stuff, etc. And we're going to have to come on, about this polygamy stuff and reincarnation and other stuff that these guys teach. And this has to be talked about. I really don't feel like doing this, and hurt my brain with this stuff. But I got to say something. All right. Oh, wait, the camera's on. All right, so I got to do it, and then we're going to close this out. All right, until next time, shalom. How about that? Peace. Take care.